Welcome back to the Ready, Set, Blow podcast, a special on-the-road edition from Austin, Texas, the Creek in the Cave podcast studio with my man, Joe Begley.
What's up, dude?
The original.
The OG.
My roll dog from Boston. We started together, we're going to die together, and hopefully we're going to fuck later.
Dude, those Boston days of us starting stand-up together were really fun and also really dark and kind of fucked up.
Well,
we used to go to this Monday mic called the Green Dragon together.
Oh my God! Shout out to Jessie Cash. It's like the longest running mic in Boston history, and it's proclaimed an open mic, but she has to like you personally to go on.
Yeah.
So she would just put the same 6 to 10 comics on, and we'd get like fucking 12 minutes.
It was amazing.
Which was like 3 times longer than every other fucking open mic in town.
Bro, I mean, we'd been doing stand-up. I'd been doing stand-up for less than 6 months. And so the fact that I was able to do 10 minutes on that was such a important experience. Oh. But then the more important thing than that was after that we would go and get a couple beers at this place next door where they were like $2 beers. Yeah, dude.
But back then, man, it was such a I feel like I knew I didn't know what I was doing. Mm-hmm. And now that I look back, I really didn't know what I was doing. It was like, oh my 100%. God, I had no idea how any of this would work out. Where any of it was going, whether or not, every Green Dragon could have been the last fucking Green Dragon, last set I ever did,
100%.
It's kind of wild.
And it's like, dude, this sounds fucking lame, but I was listening to the Modern Wisdom podcast, and they had this Alex Hormozy dude on. He just said offhand, he goes, 3 things that make a guy attractive that women can't resist. He goes, 1, guy that knows where he's going. 2, he's having fun going there. And 3, he's comfortable in his own skin. And I was like, I feel like I've been 0 for 3 on those since I started comedy. I have no idea where I'm going. I'm genuinely uncomfortable all the time. And a lot of times I'm just fucking miserable.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like life is full of so many surprises already. But then when you get into this business, there is no certainty. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could be the funniest comic alive and never make it. You could be a bum and become super successful. You can work your ass off and it could work out. You could. There's so many ways it can go. It's kind of out of your hands. I mean, all you could do is really worry about just getting funnier and building up your act. And
100%.
And like you just asked me before we started, am I still having fun? One of the things I remember most. I mean, there's a bunch of comics that helped me out throughout my career, as have you, I'm sure. But there was one piece of advice that I got from Corey Rodriguez, who's the best comic in Boston. The guy's an absolute monster.
Animal.
He should be a household name. It's insane. It's insane he's not more famous, but. I just done my first McGreevy's show, which is like, a booked bar show, which is like a big deal.
Yeah.
Doing open mics, you have to wait for fucking 2 hours to do 3 minutes or whatever it was.
Especially in Boston, it would be 35 people.
Oh my God.
So we'd be sitting there. But anyway. Sorry.
Yeah. So he was driving me from McGreevy's, and I think we were going up to the Burn to hang out. And I was telling him, like, yeah, I got, Brian Higginbottom put me on at McGreevy's, and R.I.P. Brian Higginbottom. Shame, sad story there, but
fuck that train, dude.
I know. but we were driving back and back up to the Burn. And I was like, oh yeah, I did the show, it went great, blah blah blah. I'm going to do this next show. I'm trying to get on in this bar show. He's like, that's all great, Randy, but let me ask you a question. Are you still having fun? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you're talking about all these things you want to do. He's like, do you enjoy doing it still? I said, yeah, it's a thrill. He's like, good, because hold on to that, because that'll keep you in this business for the long run. Because if it stops being fun while you're doing it, you can't wait for, an outside accolade or a TV spot or some big paycheck. He's like, you got to like doing it for the sake of doing it. Otherwise, you're not going to put up with all the shit that's going to come your way over the many years it takes to build a career in this thing.
I mean, dude, that's what me and Brandon were talking about earlier. Is like, dude, the whole thing is just uncertainty, and you can just look at it and just be like, all right, dude, well, I'm broke right now, but once I get the job or like once I get some credit, everything will be fine. Yeah. Or you can just be like, dude, I can try to figure out how to be like relatively happy while I'm at this like chaotic period in my life. And if you can learn to actually like thrive in the chaos, if you can kind of have fun while you're in this stage, then the making it is going to be even more fun if that happens.
Oh, for
and
sure.
If it doesn't, then you're fucked. But if you're like miserable doing this, then once you figure it out, you're done. Again, I got a similar piece of advice from someone. They were like, if this was it, if this was all you were doing, just bar show, open mics, like, would you enjoy it? And I was like, yeah. But the thing that I don't enjoy is just like lately, just the chaos, the uncertainty, all that shit has gotten to my head for sure. Or it started to fuck with me recently.
There have been a lot of periods that I had a bad stretch right before I left Boston. during the pandemic. I had a real dark stretch because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know, we were talking about it a little bit before, work stuff, day job shit. You know, I left a lucrative job to do this.
Yeah, we were both very
And then
successful
I was,
before
and
we
I was
started
down
comedy.
to a certain amount of money, and then the pandemic hit, and I was fucking broke, you know, dipping into my 401k. I'm like, what? Am I fucking insane? I'm almost 40 years old. I'm 40 years old now. You know, I had a good thing going. Like, am I going to fucking, you know, die on the street like a homeless person? Like, what am I thinking?
Yeah.
But then, you know, life happens and money comes back. But I always try to remind myself, because I talked about this in therapy before I started comedy. You know, and my therapist, you know, reiterated, it's like, you can always make more money. You can
100%.
never make more time. So if you're enjoying your time, be happy with that. You can make more money tomorrow. You could go back to work tomorrow. You can, you know, worst case scenario, you live with your parents for a few months and find a job, and then once you have some money saved, you get your own apartment. But, you know, on your deathbed, no one ever said, you know, I wish I made another $1 million. It's like, you know, I wish I had spent my time doing X, or, you know, spent more time with Y person. You know, like, that's what's important.
100%.
And I remind myself that it's true. Like, I don't know what else I would be doing at night. Like, what the fuck? My weekends, I've had weekends off from the road while I had this day job, where, you know, Jeff wasn't working, so I was just at home, and I was like, what do I do? Like, like it's such a big part of my life that, like, if it were ripped away, I'd have to find all new friends. Like, what the fuck would I be up to?
If this didn't exist, if you weren't doing this, like, what do you think you would be doing with your weekends?
I'd still be a banker, man. I'd be miserable. I probably would have killed myself. I mean, honestly, the job was so stressful.
You were like full on investment banking.
Oh,
right?
man, I was working 100 hours a week, doing all sorts of crazy shit.
So in a way, you kind of fell into like a better career within finance than you would have found without comedy. Like the part-time thing that you're doing right now sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, ironically, you know, I was strapped for cash at the end of last year, beginning of this year, and a couple consulting things came through where I was working hourly, and then a buddy had heard I was back out working. He reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, I need help I need a CFO of this company. Would you want to do that?" I said, "Sure." And I did that full time for 9 months, and then I said, I got to get back to comedy, and they said, "Okay, you can go part time," but because I had the boundaries that this is number one, they worked with that. You know, like they accepted that. You know, like you don't know what you can get until you ask for it. It's like, you know, if you guys want me, this is the terms under which you're going to get me. Otherwise, you can't. And it's like, okay. It's like, oh shit. All of a sudden, there's more balance in my life.
Well, that's why my career in tech ended, is because I tried to pretend that comedy wasn't number one. I tried to pretend that my tech job was number one, and I went in there being like, hey, you know, like I'm whatever you guys need, I'm there. And then they were like, okay.
Oh,
like, yeah.
If you give them an inch, they'll take your life.
They took the whole thing.
Corporate America would love nothing more than to suck you dry.
Yeah, they wanted me in there. Like, it's really horse shit too, because I worked for one of those companies where they were like, oh yeah, you have unlimited PTO.
That's a
and I'm like,
lie.
Great, dude. Like, first 3 months I took 6 days off.
Yeah.
And they pulled me into an office and we're like, into a meeting, and we're like, hey, we noticed that you've been taking a lot of PTO. And I'm like, I noticed that I took
6 days out of 90.
Yeah, 6 out of 90 days I was off. And they go, well, you know, traditionally over the course of the year, people take about 15 days. And if they take more than 20, we start to get concerned. And I'm like, so you don't have unlimited PTO.
Yeah.
You have 20 days.
Yeah.
You want to market that
you have
have
a
it.
marketing unlimited PTO.
Yeah, that's what you are. Like, your whole unlimited PTO policy is just a marketing scheme to try to get more people to work for this fucking company.
And if you have unlimited PTO, they don't have to accrue for your sick and vacation days, so they don't owe you shit. They don't have to pay you out on that.
They don't have to pay you nothing.
Yeah, so like when I left investment banking, I had, you know, they would give me 2 weeks a year and plus a week of sick leave. I never took any of it for 3 fucking years. They paid me out, you know, an extra like 9 weeks of pay when I left because I took 0 of it. But if they give you unlimited PTO, it's like flex timing, so they don't. It's, you know,
it's insane that you only got 2 weeks a year in the iBanking gig, because like the reality of the situation is if you're in investment banking, you're probably working an overtime day every other day, right?
Oh, dude, working in investment banking cut into my personal hygiene. Like, there were days I didn't have, fuck sleep. Like, I would have to, like, you know, shower in the gym at the office because I would just stay there all night. And I'd have to, like, you know, like, oh, you know, I got to clean myself up because I smell like a fucking, you know, bag of Doritos that's been left out for 3 weeks. You know, like, it was ridiculous, dude. It was ridiculous. And they have really no sympathy for you at all. To give you an example, there was a guy, he was made partner that year, young guy. He was made partner at like 35, 36, which is young in banking. And he'd been with that company for, you know, 12 or 14 years. Fucking guy collapsed in his office during the day at like 10 in the morning, right? He thought he was having a heart attack. Turns out it ended up being some sort of a weird muscle tear in his chest that he thought he was having a heart attack. But at the time, we all thought he was having a heart attack. The ambulance came, they put him on a gurney and ushered him out. Fucking boss was like, all right, everybody back to work. Fucking guy could have died. Could have died in the office. A young guy, 35 years old, could have died in the office in front of everybody, in front of 30 other people in the group. And he's like, all right, everyone, fuck it, back to work. It's like that's your partner. It's
crazy.
Don't you care about the fucking guy you just made a partner in your firm? Like, apparently not. I'm sure in his mind, he's like, it's more money for me if that cocksucker dies.
Well, there's a lot of like lies that go into investment banking too. Like I went to high school and college with, not college really, because I went to fucking UVM, but a lot of guys that I went to high school with were like, yeah, I'm going to get into investment banking. This is going to be great. And the whole track and the whole thing that they pitched you is it's like 2 to 4 years of like working really hard. And then it kind of chills out. It's like, that's a dog shit lie,
Total
dude.
lie.
It's like, how much money is it actually worth it when you're just not going to have any life at all?
Dude, I've never met a single investment banker that got their annual bonus. That's how most of their compensation is paid. Like even partners at investment banking firms, their base salary would be like at most like $500,000, but their bonus will be multi-$1,000,000. You know, like
crazy.
I've never met a single one of them who was happy with their bonus. They always bitch like I should have gotten more. That's how much it takes. Like someone will hand you a $5 million check and like this is it for all that you've taken from me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how aggressively they suck the life out of you.
How nice does your house have to be for you?
Yeah,
cool
How many
like
fucking
never
ponies
being
does
in
your
it?
kid have to have before you're comfortable?
It's the same, but in the same way, like the comedy business kind of shares some aspect of that, where it's like, yeah, you're not working during the day and you're not stressed out in that way. But the hard part of it is like you were talking about with going on the road with Jeff. It's like there was a point over the summer where I had shit going on in Boston, and then I had a wedding, and I was out of town for 5 straight weeks. And you come back when you're out of town for 5 weeks, and you go, fuck, I can't remember who my friends are.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember who I'm supposed to call and who I'm supposed to hang out with. And then you start to, like, go out more and more where you feel, like, more and more isolated when you're in your own hometown.
Yeah.
And that's when it gets fucking hard.
Well, there's also no roadmap for it, too. I mean, like, in most other professions, like even investment banking, right, you go to a top 10 college and you get into a bulge bracket bank, and then you go to a private equity firm, and then you try and make partner there and blah, blah, blah. In this, there's no formula.
Yeah.
You know, like lawyers have a career path, doctors have a career path, bankers, all these people have career paths. How do you tell someone, all right, this is how you make it in comedy? There's no such thing. Everyone's journey to whatever making it is different, and also making it is subjective, right?
Yeah.
Like if you asked me 5 years ago if you'd be happy if I would be happy with what I'm doing now, I'd say I'd be thrilled with it.
Yeah. 100%.
And now it's like I want more. Like wait a minute.
No.
I don't want to just open on the road. I want to do fucking theaters on my own. Like there's always something else there.
Well, there's a delusion to it early on too, where it's like, oh, if I just get the feature gigs and I'm in at the clubs, then they'll see what I'm doing, and then we'll go to the next level.
Yeah.
Where you're like, that's it, or you're like, in my case, you're like, if I got 1 million views on a clip, I'd be fucking, now I'm the household name. Yeah. Now I have something to work with, and it's like, nah, dude, that's not it at all. It's not what happens.
Is there something in comedy though that you want to do that like would be a significant milestone to you? Because there is something for me.
What is it?
Well, I want you to go first. What's your thing like? Oh, this is something that's always been like a significant milestone that I'm gonna hang my brass ring on.
It was just to play laugh, but then I did that one night. I'm like, oh yeah, this is just like a night. This is like
exactly. See,
we go to my friend's house in Southie and get fucked up afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a few of them, and I've done a few of them. I mean, like. I remember when I played Gotham Comedy Club in New York for the first time. I was like, holy shit, dude, I'm going on the stage at Patrice O'Neill and Greg Giraldo, Bill Burr, all done here. So I've had some that I've passed, but there's one that I think for me is still going to be, then in my mind, I still don't even consider myself a real comedian, even though I do fucking 1,000 shows a year. It's if I'm a paid regular at the Comedy Cellar in New York. Like I'm nervous now thinking about doing a set on that stage, even though I'm not anywhere close to doing it.
Yeah.
Like I hold that place in such high esteem because I'm a New Yorker. The store was probably more well known because there's a lot of famous people in LA. But the Cellar is like, for me, the comedy mecca.
100%.
And to play that original small little dungeon room would be just otherworldly. And hopefully, God willing, someday I'll do it. And then I'm sure the very next day I'll be like, all right, what's next? Like I'll take it for granted
just the
way
minute
it's done.
Man.
Yeah.
But dude, the thing about that and the thing about the Comedy Cellar goal though is there's a gatekeeper involved.
Yeah.
There's someone that's got to say yay or nay. And you could be like, you could be a fucking killer and not be past the Cellar. Like you could be in New York and somebody could be like, you know what, dude?
Yeah.
Randy, no.
Dude, Bert Kreischer didn't get past the Comedy Store until like 3 years ago. He's already doing fucking arenas. You know, like
crazy.
You know, like it's just shit like that. Like
Is that true? No,
yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, he became like a paid regular like within the last 5 years, and by that point he'd been on TV for many years. He'd been on Rogan multiple times. He'd been, selling theater tickets. You know, like, so it's kind of wild.
Well, you look at the people that are getting past there right now, and it's all like people that have already done SNL and are already famous, and you're like,
yeah. But then you look at the names on the wall, and there's a lot of names on that wall who are paid regulars who fucking. It's another thing too. Like they're paid regulars, they never get spots. They just don't book them again. So it's like, oh, you're past there, but do you play there regularly?
It happens all the time, dude.
I know. It's fucking frightening.
Terrifying.
But, I feel like I'm sounding funny. Please excuse my voice, people. I've been sick. I lost my voice last night. I'm trying to keep it low.
Dude, so the last time I did your podcast, I was so fucked up sick. Like I had a true flu type situation.
I'm so glad we're doing this in person though, because it's much better this way. We did it over Zoom.
I'm not doing Zoom podcasts anymore.
How fucking grotesque was that? That pandemic fucking period of comedy was the saddest time.
Well, the fact that you were able to actually keep it up and keep the podcast going once a week, I think is like insanely impressive. Because I tried to
389 episodes. This is.
Bro, I tried to do fucking one Zoom podcast, and I just was like, I'm doing the solo thing because I can't talk to these people over Zoom. It makes you feel insane. It's not fun. There's no like fun to it.
I know. It feels like fucking BetterHelp therapy. You know, like
so
telemedicine.
Funny. Don't you feel like, Brandon, like there's some like thing in the ethos right now where there's some parallel wave that's putting us all in the same thing? Because the same things we were just talking about for an hour.
We just talked about BetterHelp for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We're sponsored by BetterHelp, folks. No, we're not. Give me some fucking money. I'll say your name again.
This podcast and the entire internet are sponsored by BetterHelp Therapy.
Yeah, and Liquid Death and what's the other one? Helix Mattresses.
Yeah, we were laughing about this last night because I did a show last night with the dude who's the face of the Dr. Squatch soap.
Oh, I saw him at Sunset. I forgot his name, but I shook his hand.
Yeah, nice guy. Really nice guy. But you also want to be like,
again?
Dude, you want to be like, I've seen you so many fucking times on my laptop.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sick of your face.
Yeah.
Enough.
What a great gig, though, man.
Enough with the cedar soap. Dude, just pay your fucking rent in perpetuity.
Dude, that's actually like I feel like one of the great things you could do if you're a comedian, like if you just like good commercial gigs.
Yeah.
Like Will Noonan, right? He was like the face of whatever Honda in Boston.
Wait, really?
Honda? Yeah, dude, he did like 10, 12 commercials for him, and they kept him on, and they were running him all throughout like the Stanley Cup playoffs. So he made good money just making like 3 commercials a year because they would rerun them over and over and over again.
Really?
Yeah, but that's like the ideal, I think, for like a comedian, especially the kind of comedian I want to be. Like, I'm never going to be Kevin Hart, fucking household name. I'm too dirty. I'm too real, too gritty. I don't want everyone to like me. I'm never going to be on a fucking late night program. I mean, that's just never going to happen unless it's cable TV or something. But
I can think of a late night program.
Late night.
We've
short
done
films
many
about,
late night programs.
Late night short films about romance. But like doing commercial gigs, like no one's going to fire a commercial actor for something they say, in a comedy show or on a podcast, because no one like follows commercial actors.
You could be if you're on fucking Allstate, dude. If you see the chick with big tits from AT&T talking about denying the Holocaust, I think they might have something to say about that.
They might drop that one.
Yeah. Leonardo Joni is the new fucking AT.
I wanted to get into voiceover work. My voice sounds terrible now, but that's another good one. Like no one, like Mike Rowe does voiceover for most of the commercials on fucking Earth. He's like the Dirty Jobs guy. But you're like, I recognize his voice, but you don't connect his voice to his face and his name. So like,
he's
they,
like the
they won't know
guy,
that that's
right?
the guy.
That would be a great gig. Like just be able to pay your rent and not really think about it. I'm sure there's not a ton of work that goes into it. I'm sure it's like a few hours a week.
Dude, it's a 30-second commercial. And it's not like it's shot live, so you could have multiple takes. How hard can it possibly be?
What commercial do you think you would be a good brand representative for?
Actually, I did do some social media posts for a sex toy company.
How did that go?
They paid. That's how it went. That's how it went. Actually,
do you think you moved any units? Everybody saw your fucking face and was like, "Dude, I need the fucking jack off right now."
They used one of my memes on somebody else's account that was like advertising for them, and they forwarded it to me. It's like, or somebody else saw it and forwarded it to me, like a follower of mine. I reached out to them. I was like, hey, if you guys are going to use my fucking material, why don't you guys use me for it? They said, oh, okay. And that was it. And they gave me, I did like three or four different things for them.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. A little bit of money, a little bit of scratch.
Yeah, you're running a meme page now too, right?
Yeah, well, so I have a meme page that started because I was getting in so much trouble on Instagram.
What do you mean?
So I have my main account at Randy Valerio. Then I have Uncle Randy Memes. And I started that because I was worried I was going to get my main account canceled because I was getting in so much trouble for those jokes I was posting that I kept getting like shadow banned. And one time I got locked out of my account for 2 weeks. And then it like crescendoed. I literally was shadow banned for 9 months. And it took me a while to like figure it out. And then I finally got through somehow. And they're like, oh yeah, your account's been demonetized and all this shit. It'll come off of suspension on this date. And it was like, it had already been 3 months, and it was like 6 months after that date. So it was like 9 months. Yeah.
It is terrifying that they can just do that to you whenever they feel like it.
Yeah.
Because that happened to a friend of mine. Che Dorena, fucking 7 million followers on TikTok, and they just were like, no, just shut it down.
They pulled Che Dorena's TikTok?
And the crazy thing is when they were going through the congressional hearings and stuff, I think Che backed them up. And then they went back in and just fucking shut him down after
What did he get shut down for?
Posting reaction videos of chicks' asses, if I had to guess.
So the chicks' asses on TikTok are fine, but his reaction was the problem?
I don't know, man. I think
it's outrageous.
They pulled his account, but he got it back. But still, at the end of the day, it's like, it is terrifying to know that, like, regardless of how big you get, regardless of how many followers you get, you can make a media behemoth of just people that want to see you do stand-up.
Yeah.
And just TikTok or Instagram at any point could just go, you know what, dude? No.
Yeah, I want to silence this person.
Enough of you.
Yeah, but that's one of my goals. I looked at guys like Bill Burr to a lesser extent because now he's much more of a household name. But guys like a Joey Diaz, right?
Yeah.
Or Patrice O'Neal actually said it best. I've said it before on the podcast. He was on Ron and Fez years ago before he passed away, and they were talking about his career and how the ups and downs and how much he got into a lot of shit with the industry. And he's like, look, man, he's like, I'm at a comedy club every weekend, right? 5-6 shows. Average comedy club has 300 people in it, so there's 300 people in the seats. He's like, if I can find one person every night out of those 300 people who will fuck with me, who'll pay $10 a year to see me, to buy something of mine, something like that. He's like, if I do enough comedy clubs across this country, it's 300 million people. Yeah. If I get one out of 300 million, that's 1 million people. If 1 million people spend $10 a year on me, that's $10 million in my pocket. I don't need everyone to like me. I just need one person in the room that really likes what I'm up to.
100%.
And that's kind of true. Like, you build your own little fan base, and then you become bulletproof. I mean, they tried to cancel Louis C.K., and yeah, they took a lot of money from a lot of gigs and shit like that, but fans would still buy his tickets. He was selling out theaters in Europe when he was canceled.
100%. He was going to like Budapest.
And just selling fucking 2,000 seats. Like, so it's I feel like it's a harder road to sort of carve for yourself. But if you can get like a loyal fan base, you don't need the industry. You have your fans, and then 100%. The industry needs you. Look at Andrew Schultz. Guy was all about fuck Netflix. I'm gonna do this on my own. I'll release it on YouTube for free. Release it on YouTube for free. Went fucking bananas. Huge podcast. Next special comes up. Netflix threw a pile of money at him and he took it.
Yeah,
it's like, fuck Netflix until they hand you the back up a Brinks truck. And I don't blame him for taking it. I blame Netflix for being so fucking myopic to think that someone who has a fan base, like, they already like him. Like, why does a boardroom full of people need to like him? The fucking paying customer needs to like him, not you. The executive in the office, not you, the board members, not you, the critics in the media, the people who pay to come see you. Who gives a fuck? Like, people can trash you all you want. If you're selling tickets, you're unstoppable.
100%. Yeah. Dude, I think, like, I was talking about this the other day, like, the true gauge of fame right now and of, like, an actual good career. It's like, you can get as many fucking views on Instagram Reels as you want. The name of the game is to get to a point where if you never posted again on your Instagram account, but you kept doing stand-up, your shit would just show up because people are looking for it and they want to see it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, I envy those guys who don't have a social media but still sell fucking tons of tickets.
Or even, like, people that do. People like Shane, where it's just like, you go on Instagram all the time and you'll see clips of him from a special popping up, and it's like, it's not him posting it.
Oh, yeah.
People want to see his stuff so bad that someone will just post a random, like, 30-second snippet from a pilot that they shot back in the day, and it'll get 10 million views, and you're like, that's the fucking, that's the banger.
And there's an example right there of a guy who did get fucked a little bit by the industry, right? He was supposed to be a cast member on SNL that year. Someone dug up some clip from some podcast, however many moons ago, where he allegedly made some disparaging remarks about Asian people or something like that, and they fucking fired him before he even started. And that's probably the best thing that ever happened to him, because if he was just a cast member or a writer on SNL, he wouldn't have built the kind of fucking following he has now. Done it on his own. And now, look, fucking Budweiser, he's in partnership with them. And what's ironic about that SNL thing with Shane Gillis is, too, they were giving him shit because he didn't make disparaging remarks about Asian people. He used a derogatory term for them.
Yeah.
in that same SNL class with him going in was SNL's first Asian cast member. The show's been on the air for 45 years. Lorne Michaels, that cocksucker, and I'll say that because I'll never be on that fucking show in my life. That guy is the bigot who didn't hire a fucking Asian for 45 years, and then he fired a guy who said chink. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
That's so funny, dude.
Watch me live to regret calling Lorne Michaels a cocksucker.
He's like, Randy Valerio has been pulled from SNL.
It's all right. He's going to be dead soon. I think he's in his 70s.
Yeah.
By the time I make it, he'll be long gone.
Yeah.
At the pace I'm going.
Slow and steady wins the race, baby.
Yeah, dude.
Let's look it up. How old is our boy? 79.
Oh, yeah. Fuck
God
him.
damn.
I'll disparage him all I want. He's got maybe another 5 years if he's lucky.
Dude, shout out to Kenan Thompson for putting on that bullshit fucking Kenan Presents thing here at the club.
What was the Kenan? Oh, yeah, like a stand-up
Was
showcase?
one of my bigger regrets in stand-up from last year was not telling those guys to fuck off and suck my dick, dude.
What happened?
Just like there's some group of guys that are running around and basically doing these shows where they're just like, oh, yeah, it's Kenan Presents. And they market the flyer intentionally to look like Kenan Thompson is going to show up. And then it's just like 15 people from Austin or from wherever doing 4 minutes.
Okay.
And they did it here at the Creek, so I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this. But they market it pretty dishonestly.
Like he's going to be here?
Yeah, and then they get everyone on the show to share the flyer and stuff, and then you don't get paid, and then you sign some waiver to give them the right to use the material that they recorded of you.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they're doing with it, but dude, it's just a clear like cash grab, and I don't know how he can justify having his face associated with that. It was fucking bullshit. Brandon, did you do that when it was here?
No, but I mean they had it in every scene. They had it at Houston, San Antonio, LA. They had it, and then I don't know if you saw the Cedric, the Entertainer one, like. Laughter pays. It's DMing everyone. It's like, hey, send us one of your comedy clips. We own the full rights to it. If we select you as the winner, you get $1,000 one time. We get to keep the like content in perpetuity.
So he's basically it's basically a way to buy jokes for cheap for good comics. It sounds like it's like, yeah, send me all of your best clips. And I'll decide which ones I like the most and pay the one guy one, but I get to keep everyone else's and just put it in my act.
Well, they know like early enough on, like people are just naive about shit, and you don't
desperate. Anything like, hey, I got the Kenan Thompson thing. It's a credit, whatever,
Yeah, I mean, you don't know. Like, I think there's a lot of greedy motherfuckers that are just looking at shit. And for all you know, the bit that you wrote is completely worthless, dude. I almost wore the exact same socks today, by the way. But dude, the bit could be fucking nothing. It could go nowhere, or it could be the thing that blows the fuck up.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I could have sold if somebody asked me to buy the Speaking Chinese bit for $1,000 a couple years ago. I fucking goddamn right I would have done that.
Yeah, it's desperate for cash.
Yeah,
I'll sell you my asshole for $500.
Yeah, dude, $500, sure. Let's go. You want my asshole? I have hemorrhoids right now.
Yeah, man.
Great.
God, Jesus Christ, you're too young to be having hemorrhoids, old man.
Dude, it happens. I mean, I got a gnarly one right now.
How do you know you have a hemorrhoid? Like, what is a hemorrhoid? I don't even know what the
a hemorrhoid is when like you get a blood vessel that comes out of your asshole.
What are you just straining too hard and something pops out?
Yeah, get too stressed out.
And how do you put it back in?
You
or
just
cut
put
it off?
Cream on it, and it just goes away gradually with time. But it makes your butthole itch really bad.
It's crazy.
Oh my god! And it sounds like you get these often that you know so much about it.
Dude, man.
You need some fucking like roughage in your diet, do some fiber.
Bro, you don't know how much fucking roughage I'm eating, Randy. But I do have a love for Taco Bell, booze, and stress. So, which is,
yeah, man. I don't know, man.
If you're like drunk driving to the Taco Bell and you get there and you're like, fucking life is just stupid. You're like, you're gonna get a hemorrhoid, dude.
Dude, I saw. Speaking of Taco Bell, I saw recently, and TikTok, it went viral. Somebody posted a receipt from Taco Bell in like 2002, and it went bananas because it was like they got like 4 tacos and a Crunchwrap Supreme or some shit for like $2.89, and now like 1 Crunchwrap Supreme is like $2.89. Like,
Bro,
what the fuck?
$189 if you're fucking
Oh, here it
lucky,
is.
bro.
Good job, Randy.
And these menus have just gone insane, dude.
Let me see if I can find.
Oh,
yeah,
here
so
the
here we
prices.
go.
Yeah, dude. I remember the price for that. Chicken soft tacos, $1.19. Yeah, the soft taco 99 cents.
Crunchy taco.
79 cents. Soft tacos. Now what is this bullshit they're trying to pull on us now?
Crunchy taco, $2.19.
Fuckers. Doubled in price in 19 years.
Yeah, $2.19 is a huge.
Dude, this is
jump.
actually like substantially less than I think what it actually is. I think right now a Crunchwrap, last time I was over there, was like $5.50 or $6.
Yeah, this is 2020. Let me see if I can find a more updated one.
Bro, because like the thing is, fast food used to be 2 things. It used to be cheap and it used to be fast.
Yeah.
And now it's neither of those things.
Yeah.
Like you show up at Taco Bell right now and they're like, how bad do you really want it, dude?
It's
You want
just
to fucking sit here for a while?
It's outrageous, dude. It's outrageous. I fucking bought like a number 1, a Big Mac meal. It's like $18.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Dude, you pull up
what
and
the fuck, dude? I shouldn't have to break a 10 for this. You know, like $18.
You show up now, they know they got you by the balls. You show up, you pull into that drive-thru, they're like, you're going to wait 30 minutes and you're going to pay us $15 for this Crunchwrap Supreme meal, you fucking pussy. And you're like, all right.
Oh, I fucking robbed them, dude. Famously. So during the pandemic, there's a Taco Bell on Ventura near where Jeff lives. And me and my buddy Tyler would be at Jeff's house drinking, just hanging out because there's nothing to do during the pandemic. And, smoking weed or whatever. And we'd be like, hey, let's go grab some Taco Bell, right? And I'd be stoned to the gills. We'd pull up, I'd order, he'd order. And it was late at night during the pandemic. They was all drive-through, right? So we get to the window. And there was only one person. They didn't have like a separate pay window and the order window. You order at the machine, and there was just a pay window. So we'd pull up. They'd hand us the bag. We'd take the bag and just drive away. We did it like 3 times in a week, and then finally we pull up like the 4th time. Lady's like, that'll be whatever $23.99, and we're like, oh okay. And Tyler, my buddy, reaches into his pocket and he pulls out. He's like, all I got is $10. She goes, fuck, just give it to me. So I'm sure she pocketed that money.
Yeah.
Gave us a bag and we just stole it again.
Bro, mild thieving should be like acceptable and stuff there because there's just no way. Dude, how the fuck, if you're on minimum wage right now, where do you get food? Because, bro, I'll go to the grocery store and like it's crazy how easy it is to run up $150 at HEB.
It's nuts, dude. By the way, that's really fucked up that you guys have a grocery store called Heeb out here. Listen, I'm not a pro-Palestinian guy, but that's definitely,
Yeah, you are,
a
dude.
little much. No way, dude.
Dominicans for Palestine.
I mean, apparently the gays and the trans are for Palestine, which is hilarious because they are not for the gay and trans. But I've never seen like a more inappropriate love affair than hardcore liberals and the LGBTQ community for Palestine, and they just hate them. I've never seen anything like it.
Bro, I know jack shit about the situation. I ain't diving in them waters, dude. I ain't going in there.
There's nothing worth diving into.
I ain't going in there.
It's a fucking 10,000-year-old beef over a plot of fucking sand that I don't give a shit about. Honestly, like I told people this. If I've said it 1,000 times. If China fell off the face of the earth today, I would not care. I don't know a single fucking person over there. All 1.5 billion of them could die. It would not bother me one bit. I don't have enough, and I'm not a cold-blooded guy. I just don't have enough empathy to go around. Like, I have enough trouble worrying about me and my needs and desires. The people that I love, my family, my friends, my community, my country. You think I'm going to worry about somewhere fucking 10,000 miles from here?
Well, that's the hardest thing
Fuck
about
them
it,
over there.
which is like why if like genuinely if you donated like $1,000 to some charity that digs wells in Africa, and you were able to like save 25 people. And that's actually the truth. There's proof.
Yeah.
Let's say there was some charity where like there was actually proof. You donated $1,000, 40 African children are going to get water and they're going to live and they're not going to die. And you're like, okay, that's pretty fucking great. And then your dog eats a sock and they go, it's $4,000
save
the dog
life.
Everyone's
Always.
save the dog, even though it's 160 African kids in this example. And I think the reason is it would be exhausting to be empathetic to the people overseas
It's
every
not
time something
possible,
happened.
dude.
Like,
At
dude,
that level, it's not possible.
dude, if you wept every time you read of somebody dying in a war abroad, like you would just be
You
exhausted.
couldn't get out of bed. There's so
You
many
can't
horrible things
process
going
it.
on in the world. You wouldn't be able to function in society.
It'd be impossible.
Yeah, and like you said too. Also, what the fuck do we know? I mean, like there are people who are very educated on it, but even they don't know all the nuances of the fucking thing. And it's a weird thing now where like nowadays everything we it seems like we all know we live in a world full of gray area.
Mm-hmm.
But Western society now is forcing everyone to pick A or B, black or white, this side or that side. It's like, yeah, I believe Israel should, there should be Jews in Israel, but that doesn't mean I want to kill every Arab in the world. Like I can feel bad for them being bombed, but I also think Israel should be a state. You can have two thoughts in your head at the same time. You can have two emotions. Like of course it's horrible how many women and children are dying over there. Mm-hmm. But what did they expect when you when you march across a wall and indiscriminately kill 1,200 people and take 250 prisoners? You're gonna get bombed. These are things that are gonna happen, dude. If a Mexican cartel came over here and took one Texan and dragged him across the border, do you know what kind of hellfire we'd rain down on that country? Mexico would be America in 3.5 weeks. You know what I'm saying? It would take no time before we marched right into Mexico City and took the fucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think Israel
USA. USA.
And,
Jesus, Randy, you're gonna fucking get.
and Israel, let's be honest, Israel could just flatten Gaza if they wanted to.
Good luck with your fucking part-time CFO job. I'm sure that's gonna last.
Well, look, I am
fucking idiot.
I did say support the Jews, so I'm gonna have a banking job. If I wanted to get into oil, maybe I'll go more pro-Hamas.
Randy. You know what's fucking crazy though is like to your point about just like everyone's getting divided and shit. You see the statistic that like for Gen Z, the Gen Z women are like way more liberal than millennial women, but Gen Z boys are like way more conservative than like even Gen X guys. There's a huge divide. Yeah, Brandon, there's some like crazy statistic about that.
Yeah, pull that up because I was talking last week. I brought it up. I saw this stat.
Or Gen Z.
That 28% of Gen Z identifies as LGBTQ, but only
got to pump those numbers up.
Yeah, but only like 4% of like boomers identify as that. So like a third of people under 30 are gay, but only like 4% of people over 50 are gay. It's like how does that work?
Well, so LGBTQ bi and question. Q stands for questioning.
Queer. Oh yeah, I've talked.
I'm LGBTQ, dude.
Well,
because
I'm yeah. Q. I was told by my former lesbian roommates because I asked them this. What's the Q stand for? And they said queer. I was like, am I allowed to say that again? I thought we banned that word. And she goes, well, not the way you say it.
I thought Q was questioning.
It's queer.
Oh, I'm not.
No, it's queer.
I'm not LGBTQ anymore.
Also, what is queer? Anything that's not normal is queer. Why don't they just make it all Q? They gotta shorten that shit up, man. Dude, it's long enough to be a password. It has uppercase, lowercase is two. This is the full term.
Flatten Gaza, shorten the queers. Yeah.
It's the full name now is LGBTQIA2+.
What's the two?
Two-spirited. Dude, that's long enough to be a password. Like it has the uppercase, lowercase. Like you can make that a strong enough password.
Yo, can we actually try that real quick? Go on, try to like register for some random website and try to use LGBTQ+.
LGBTQIA2+. That's not. You need 8. You need 8 uppercase, lowercase, a number, and a symbol. That has all those. That has all those in it.
Let's check it out. Go on a website, try to sign up, and see if LGBTQ
IA2+.
IA2+.
I forget what IA is. Oh, intersex, asexual, two-spirited, and then plus means more coming.
Is LGBTQ2IA a valid password?
Yeah, you'll have to lowercase one of the letters, but yes, it's a valid password.
Oh, I can't do Joe's gay as the email. Hold up, sorry.
That's pretty fucked up that you can't make Joe. What if Joe was gay and he wanted that fucking screen name? Like,
All right, let's see. LGBT.
Oh my God! How is that email already in use?
Joe is cool. Yeah, I'll find.
Joe's
I'll
cool.
find.
6969696.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, IA, and then
We're
we'll
really
go
gonna make this
plus.
fucking YouTube, this Yahoo email. I'm gonna start sending that to bookers when they. Oh, what are your avails? I'll email you.
Dude, LGBTQIA2+ is a valid password.
It was gonna take it. Yeah, I just had to put in a full name. And
Let's
told you.
go.
I told you, dude. The gay communities, that the LGBT community's fucking marketing department sucks. That you can't keep changing your name and extending it. And also, it's like I said, queer is anything that's not straight. They should just go by queer. All of them are queer. You know, gay guys are queer, they're man for man. Lesbians are queer because they're woman for woman. But like, you know, obviously a lesbian's not gay, gay's not lesbian. But
What
why
would
do
you
all the
say is the
letters?
queerest thing about you, Randy?
The queerest thing about me?
Yeah.
Dude, I live a very queer lifestyle. Like I said, the only thing, I live a gay lifestyle. The only thing not gay about my lifestyle is who I have sex with. You know, I'm single. You know, I live with a gay guy now. I was living
Where
with
do you
lesbians,
only
now I
live
with
with
a gay guy.
gays?
I live in West Hollywood because they're single, they have money, they decorate well.
Remember the lesbian couple that you used to torture when you lived with them in Boston?
The apartment's always furnished nicely. You know, no kids. Never any kids around, right? I'm not a kids guy. Yeah, dude. If I was gay at 40, it would make a lot more gay and single at 40. My life would make a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense to me being straight, 40 and single. It's like, what's wrong with you? Oh, I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
I came out as a comedian. You know what I'm saying?
That's so funny, dude.
It's fucking wild, man. I don't know. Would you date a dude for enough money? What's the queerest thing about you? Your hemorrhoid. Your anal prolapse.
I think my hemorrhoid would actually prevent me from getting fucked in the ass, dude. I think even a gay guy would be like, whoa, shit.
Well, you could tell you have a tight one if you have to push that hard to get it out. So that might be a plus in the gay community. Yeah, I wonder if they talk about like loose assholes amongst the gay men. It's like, oh, you know, don't date that guy. His asshole's real loose.
It's a real intellectual podcast we're doing here.
Listen, man, you know, I the highbrow questions. I save the do gay guys find assholes attractive? You know, they bleach their assholes.
I do like, when you ride a girl like reverse cowgirl, I do like looking at the butthole.
You like looking at it? Have you ever seen a bad one?
Yes.
You see a little hair in there? Ooh, a little scary.
Your hair, I can't imagine how hairy your asshole
Oh,
is.
dude.
It's got to be crazy.
It's like arachnophobia. You ever see that? That's my asshole is just a spider web of pubes. It's heinous. Dude, 40 years old, never once seen my own asshole.
Really?
Why would I?
I don't know.
What do you mean, I'm squatting over mirrors for fun? Oh, Joe's gonna lick his own asshole now
Wow.
on the podcast. Oh my God! I hope this is on film.
He was in frame. That was crazy.
Thank God.
I think I could get in there and take a gander at it, dude.
Have you ever put anything up your butt?
No.
Really? Has a woman ever tried to put anything up your butt?
No.
Okay. Yeah, some women are into that kind of thing. That's trying to peg you.
Pegging's, it's cliche at this point, I gotta say.
Cliche? That's already out.
I think pegging's out.
I mean, dude.
I think people just like talk about it too much. Like, everyone's got a joke about getting pegged, and
Yeah.
I think you really need to be like me and write more Tinder jokes. You know?
I mean,
like
listen. I mean,
in vogue.
you've seen my Instagram. I have a plethora of asshole jokes.
Really?
If I put all my butthole jokes together, I'd probably have 15 minutes on just butthole jokes.
Really?
Eating ass, getting something shoved up your ass. Yeah, I would say butthole jokes, sans shitting. I probably have a good.
Comedy really is art, isn't it? You know?
Listen, it's word art. And it doesn't have to be highbrow, right? I mean, not everyone's fucking Picasso. Some of those guys that you see in the goddamn in the hotel lobby, they sell a lot of paintings. They make a living.
Yeah, corporate art, dude. We should just make corporate comedy.
Corporate comedy. I mean, that's talk about a fucking oxymoron.
I think
Corporations don't like humor.
so. Like, how like you go into like a hotel lobby or like a office building, like you said, and there is art that's clearly like designed just to be hung in in an office. Like, what if we just decided that we're gonna just go full hack, and this year we're just doing like corporate clean comedy. We're gonna think of like the best things that we could do. Like, I think it would be the easiest job in the world.
You think so? I think it would be hard just because my sense of humor doesn't find any of that stuff funny. So I
So you
wouldn't know
just
where to
take all
start.
the jokes about religion and sex out and drugs out.
That's my act.
Those are gone.
That is my entire fucking act.
And then you talk about like everything that the corporation is. You talk about how it's bad. So you're like,
Yeah, I mean that's. I think that's part of the problem, Joe. Like I can't. It's hard for me to produce comedic material about stuff that I don't find personally amusing. You know, like if I don't find it funny, I can't write something funny.
I think I've always found Chinese people personally amusing, and so that's like sort of where most.
When you say
of
Chinese, do you mean all Asian people or specifically China?
specifically Chinese people.
Okay,
from
I
China.
wanted to make sure you weren't being a bigot on this show.
Yeah, dude.
Because there's different kind of Chinese people: Korean Chinese, Japanese Chinese. It's not just.
Yeah.
What do you find funny about Chinese people?
Are you You're half Dominican or
Half
100%?
Dominican. Yeah, half Dominican. My father's from Dominican Republic. Mom is Irish, German.
You pulling up Dominican public?
Funniest things about Asians or Chinese people. I wonder if there's stand-up comedy
get
in China.
the fuck out of here! You got search results on that?
There's a list of the 9 impressive, weird, or funny things the Chinese do.
Well, one of my favorites is the squat. You ever see that? How they squat down?
Smoking a cigarette?
Yeah, the Chinatown squat, dude.
Look, Randy, that's number 1.
The squatting, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I nailed it.
Chinese people mastered eating takeout cup noodles while walking. That's pretty sick, dude.
That's a good accomplishment.
That's really good.
Chinese women don't shut the bathroom door? Is that real?
Okay, so number four. This is actually, I found this out when I lived in China. Chinese people always seem to carry tissues with them. I'll tell you why. This is crazy. Chinese public restrooms you have to pay for them, and they do not provide toilet paper.
What?
So if you have to pay for them, then what? Wouldn't that be paying for
You have to
toilet?
pay for the privilege of shitting in the hole. And so when you
A
come
hole? They don't have a toilet?
it's like a hole. Yeah, so they're like squatty potties. So you get in there and you squat over the shithole and you take a shit, and then you realize that you forgot toilet paper, and then you come back out and you pay them like $1 for a little pack of tissues. And you
With
wipe
your
your ass.
asshole all shitty? Do you pull your pants up or just do that little shimmy with your pants around your ankles?
You do a little waddle. Like Chinese people, there's some Chinese public restrooms too where there's like sort of like in the way that you would shit in a urinal or piss in a urinal trough, you just shit in an open
In a shit trough?
in a shit trough with the
Where in
boys.
China were you? I thought they were fucking advanced in that country at this point.
If I was in
They make all the
Yunnan.
iPhones. They can't make a fucking toilet. What is going on over there?
Yeah,
I guess when you got 1 billion assholes or 2 billion assholes, it's hard to make 2 billion toilets to service them.
yeah, dude, that's a fucking good point.
But fuck, dude, where in China were you that they don't have any toilets or
Yunnan
running?
province. So it's dude. The thing is like look up where I lived. Look up Kunming. Like it's actually pretty.
I mean, there's got to be major cities that have like,
so
Western style
look,
bathrooms.
Look, Brandon, if you look at that map, right?
Yeah.
So over Yunnan is the province that borders Myanmar, Thailand, and
Oh, so you're all,
Vietnam.
okay.
And so if you are Myanmar, Laos, and Vietnam.
Yeah.
So if you go in and you look up Kunming, it's like shockingly
You got to give me
Yeah, how do you
a
spell
help.
Kunming?
House.
Kunming.
Kunming.
How long were you there?
Lived there for 8 months. And
Did
so
you learn a lot of Mandarin?
yeah, so that's where I lived, dude. It was fucking awesome.
I mean, that looks like a real city. Awesome. I don't know. They don't have fucking toilets.
Randy, we had toilets at the house. You just have to do it the way you would like do it, and just not shit when you're outside the house. You
Okay.
gotta really try to make it back to your apartment.
Gotcha. Okay. I was going to say, like, if it's like a known thing that there's no toilets anywhere, it's like, all right, wait a minute here.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking
6.6 million people live there, so it's
cool
huge.
as fuck. Pull up a couple images of it. It's badass, dude. It's a badass.
Gotta be
badass
honest with you,
place.
Joe. I think China is the country I have the least interest in visiting.
It's the country that I'm never going back to. That's for fucking sure. I mean, yeah, look at this.
Really,
It's-
with all your fans out there with your Mandarin?
dude, I don't think they showed my content to people living in China. When I looked at like the distribution on TikTok and stuff, it's all Americans. So
I
they're-
thought that would have been like a huge Asian viral thing because have a round eye tell a fucking speak fluent Mandarin. Like, it's kind of a look at this.
round eye. Hilarious. You're a fucking round eye, dude. What's the
I don't know.
most,
China just looks too overcrowded and dirty for me.
so where I live was not overcrowded and wasn't dirty, but there was like a
Because you
huge.
see the photos of Beijing, it looks like mud. Like
So
the air.
There was a scandal that went down there when I lived there that really. So there was a scandal when I lived there that really, really fucked with me and removed my desire to eat when I was there, and I lost like 15 pounds.
No.
They uncovered in the neighborhood that I was living in a oil refinery where people were taking buckets from the gutter, so they would like dump the oil into the gutters after like they would cook, right? And there were guys that were taking the oil out of the gutter with buckets, refining it into cooking oil, and then reselling it for cheap.
You're just cooking with shit oil.
So I was eating shit oil for months. And look up Kunming
Yeah,
specifically.
no wonder you have a fucking hernia or whatever, hemorrhoid.
Yeah, this is it. So April 10th, 2013. When did I live there? May through December 2013.
Oh.
Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, dude, I don't know. It's just
So what happened was I didn't find out about this. This was already a news story before I got out there, but I found out about it after I fucking moved there. And once you hear that like they're using legit sewage to cook your food, you're like, dude, I'm out.
I'm only eating packaged goods from now on.
I just started losing weight. Yeah.
How'd you end up there instead of like Shanghai or Shenzhen or?
Where the study abroad program went, and honestly I'm like really grateful that our study abroad program went there because there was a cool scene around it. Like there was about 300 expats that lived there, a really fun group of people, man. It was awesome, bro. But
See, I guess I could have gone abroad. I actually could have.
disgusting is this?
In my head, I was like, I'd rather just party in the United States while I can.
Yo, read that line right there though.
Why don't you go to like Australia or somewhere fucking, go to Spain, somewhere tropical. Like,
Because I was a Chinese major, Randy.
I didn't know you majored in Chinese.
Yeah.
Fucking known this guy for like 10 years. I have no idea what the fuck he's been up to. I didn't know you spoke Mandarin until I fucking threw that clip.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, Joe speaks Mandarin.
Listen to this though. Lab tests of oil samples taken from the Kuching factories found high levels of the organic compound maldehyde. Although the compound occurs naturally in both sunflower and palm oils, elevated levels in the human body have been linked to diabetes, osteoporosis, and even carcinogenic. The Kuching oil samples levels top 2 times higher than those allowed by Chinese food and drug laws.
Yeah, and Chinese food and drug laws ain't stringent.
Cooking oils recycled from waste is pejoratively referred to as dingyo or gutter oil. Bro.
This part was crazy. It says the oil is originally destined for pig feedlots.
Oh my God. Dude. Yeah, see, once again, one more reason I don't need to go to China. Hong Kong seems dope, but that's quasi-China.
So bad, man. So bad what went down over there.
So you majored in Mandarin. Can you read that, the hieroglyphics?
If there's one thing I don't regret going over there. Like I had a great time and I learned a lot for sure. And I don't regret learning Chinese because it's like kind of cool to kind of know it.
No, it's very cool, especially nowadays. Like if you're trying to get a straight job, say, hey, by the way, I can speak Mandarin. It's like, wow, that's a plus. Yeah.
It's cool, but it's not useful because learning it at a conversational level takes years of diligent practice. Like if I wanted to actually become fluent in Chinese, I would have had to just ditch my American friends, live there with Chinese people for like 3 or 4 years. I think that's truly what it would have taken. And to be honest, I had no interest in that.
Dude, I had no idea that Mandarin wasn't their language until the communists came in and said, no, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, it was a united mainland language.
Yeah, they just forced everyone into it. I had no idea about that. And I also didn't know it was all one fucking time zone.
Isn't that dude?
How wild is that?
So
it's as big as the United States. It's all one time zone.
That's the wild thing is like when they, isn't that insane? When the Qing dynasty fell in 1912. So what happened was there's a bunch of these like little dialects. It would be sort of as if like, people in Alabama spoke a different language than people in Connecticut. And at one point we just decided, you're all speaking English. It's like in Kunming where I lived, still the official language that they teach in school is Mandarin, but the local dialect is like Yunanhua, which means just like language of the province of Yunnan. And
are they close enough though? Like, is Mandarin? Can you get by with Mandarin?
You can understand it, but they'll still say things where you're like, "What?
Okay,
excuse me." So it turns out we were living in a place where the main language wasn't even Mandarin Chinese, so it was kind of pointless.
You learned Mandarin for 3 years, went over there, and it's like, we don't speak that here. What the fuck?
And the other thing too was like, dude, you go to some parts of China, and it's basically like the Arab world, and so you go over there, and they're like, "All right. Well, we're so far west of Beijing. So like in Beijing, which is as far east as you can go, the time zone lines up. The sun rises when it's supposed to rise. You know, rises at 7, sets at 8, right?
Yeah.
And over there, you go far enough. Look at how far west that shit is.
That's
that
what I'm
western
saying.
tip.
It should be 3 time zones apart.
And so they literally have straight up illegal clocks. It's illegal to have clocks that aren't set to the main language. So the cops can come in and bust you up for having incorrect times.
If you just set your clock differently?
Yeah.
You could always, but anybody can reset their clock.
So like a local town will just be like, this is crazy. It's not, the sun's, it's not.
Yeah. It's noon and the sun hasn't risen yet. This is
So
fucking crazy.
the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So if you were saying it would take longer for the sun to, I'm trying to think.
So like let's compare it to New York and LA, right? If it's 9 a.m. in New York, it's 6 a.m. in LA, right? So let's say, Beijing is over here and then Kunming is over here and they're
Got
3
it.
hours
So
apart.
it would be like it's being 9
Yeah.
in New York and 9 in LA. So in New York it would make sense, but in LA you'd be like it's
it'd be
9
dark.
a.m. and it's
it'd
dark.
be fucking dark, dude. You're like, where's the sun? The sun goes down at 1:30. You're like, what the fuck is going on around here?
Dude, fucking cokeheads would love LA then, dude. Just
There's no time zones anywhere in China.
That's so funny, man.
Would you go back to China?
No.
Why not?
Because of like all the executions that they did to like the Uyghur Muslims, it's not like clear if a lot of the people that I knew like survived.
Oh, because they're out on that side of the country.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
wow.
there's a chance that like a lot of the people that I was like cool with got executed, and yeah, that's enough to just be like,
you don't want to go back and find out all your friends are dead, and then like, oh, you were friends with them, the American. Let's kill you too.
It's also like there was a huge, really, really vibrant expat culture over in like Kunming, and they shut it down, deported everybody. So
Jesus Christ,
like,
man.
You know.
Yeah, you see, it's not necessarily the Chinese people. It's the Chinese government. The Communist Party is just outrageous, dude.
Yeah, and it's also like, dude, when you go on the road, man, you go like to Europe and stuff, a lot of the things is like, yeah, you make friends with some locals, but a lot of people that you meet are like just fellow travelers, right? And they're people that like you have a common bond with. And so if I went over there and it was just like, there's no hostel scene, there's no backpacking scene, there's no expats anymore.
They got rid of all the things that made it exciting at the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just wild to just be with a bunch of like dudes in China that are from Australia.
Cruising for a Chinese wife.
Yeah, bro. I mean, bro, they couldn't stop looking at us when I lived over there. I lived with a redhead, a guy with alopecia, and a black dude with dreads.
Oh, dude, I heard black guys out there. They like touch them because they've never seen a black guy. They've never seen like black people. So like just touch their skin. It's like, is he real? Like, what is that?
And eventually, by the end of it, like when I first went over there in 2009, they would call me Justin Bieber and shit. It would piss me off.
That's hilarious. The local, just any white guy is Justin Bieber.
Wait, Justin the Bieber.
Justin the Bieber.
But dude, after a while, it was like, I'm walking around with like one of my best friends who's a black dude. And I'm walking around with a guy that has no hair and a redhead. And after a while, we just learned it. It's like, we came up with this phrase, which was like, I got from another expat, which is like, 如果你还没看到一个外国人，你是一个乡巴佬, which means if you've never seen a foreigner, you're a fucking redneck. And it worked every time, because eventually it's like, oh, we're here. They want to take pictures of us.
Yeah, they're like, you're famous people.
And then you've been there for 9 months, and you're like, enough. Like,
you had a taste of fame, and you got.
It's not even a fun
selfies
fame.
with Asians.
Dude, yeah, they're just like, there's thousands of selfies of me and just random Chinese people's phones.
Some Chinese guy just has a picture of Joe on his wall.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Oh, some American I met 10 years ago. Look at this guy.
Look at this fucking guy. He's so tall. He's so tall guy.
He's so tall, so well nourished.
他是很高.
Dude, I heard they fucking banned Winnie the Pooh in China.
Hilarious.
Because what's his name? Xi Jinping.
11.
Someone referred to him as Winnie the Pooh, and they said, all right, that's fucking banned.
Wild.
It's permanently blocked images and mentions of Winnie the Pooh. Which is ridiculous. I mean, like, you could just find a gummy bear and say, oh, here, like, there's 1,000 ways you can find. Like,
it's insane.
You keep banning shit, there's going to be nothing left. Like,
what are you going to do?
Yeah, I don't need to go to China.
Xi Jinping.
Thailand was fun. I went to Thailand. That was cool.
Thailand's fucking sick. That's one of the things that I want to get out there and start doing more is like
just sex tourism.
Yeah, dude, bang some fucking lady boy. But that's not transphobic. That's what they call themselves, guys. But
you got to worry about that now. That's like a term. That's like their term.
Yeah, they came up with that.
Oh well, dude. When I was over there, this is really funny too. So we were in went to Bangkok for a few nights, and then we went down to Pattaya. We're out like on this little party strip in Pattaya.
Who's we?
Me and my buddy Tyler and our friend Kate. And we're out there hanging out. And you go to the bars, and there are bars that like cater to try and get American tourists because Thailand's a very big American tourist place. On the front of the bar, they're like, country music, Muay Thai fights. And we walk by one, it just says black music, and they're playing hip hop. They just call it black music. We could not stop laughing. Let's go to the bar with the black music. Because there's probably no direct translation from Thai to hip hop.
Oh my God!
So they just call black music. Yeah, see, the United States is uniquely concerned about racial diversity and racism. Other countries do not. It's not even on their radar. Like,
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, they're not trying to be diverse. Like, they're not trying to fucking, be PC. It's just it doesn't exist. The concept.
Fun fact: we are one of the most diverse countries on planet Earth. What's the most diverse country on Earth?
It has to be here, unless it's some sort of small.
There you go. Ecuador, really?
how's
North
that possible?
Korea.
That can't be.
That's not true. All right.
It's the exact opposite.
Give me a second to look
Which
at
country
some
has the
other
most diversity?
websites.
Yeah, people must ask. It has to be, because Queens, where I grew up in Queens, Queens County.
Get the fuck. They're saying places in Africa are the most diverse.
Yeah, they have multiple different types of tribes of Africans.
Yeah, because they're going based on the different
We're about to go
ethnicities.
mad racist.
No, shades. Well, no, I know this for a fact. In Queens, New York, is the only place on Earth, only county on Earth, where all 202 spoken languages are spoken.
Really?
Yeah,
That's sick.
yeah. Uganda, that cannot be the most diverse place on Earth.
Yeah, it's just because they're saying like, so there's
I
100
know what they're
languages spoken in Africa, so it's like
Okay.
every different language is a different ethnicity, and every tribe is a different ethnicity. So like Africa, they said, has over 100 ethnic groups. The nation of Chad, which counts for more than 100, Chad is a very small, only 8.6 million residents in their whole country.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, by that measure, then we should, break up LA County by gangs. There's 400 different tribes in fucking LA. Ridiculous. All right, dude. What are we at? 2:15 here. I gotta jet in a little bit. I got a work call. I gotta earn my fucking keep.
Earn your keep.
Earn my keep. But let's get into some news before we wrap it up here.
Okay.
Doing the news, baby.
Sick.
Hey, you want to do some news, buddy?
My
You back
dick
in?
is small and I'm gay.
You back in, Brando?
Yeah, we're good to go.
All right. Here we go for the news. And I like some funny stories for you, bud. What is jelking? A viral penis enlarging trend could actually make your penis smaller and erections painful. Do you know what jelking is? Do you want to guess?
Don't look.
Don't look here. I'll read you the article. A bizarre new trend that has men tugging repeatedly on their penises to make them bigger has gone viral. And
I tug repeatedly on my penis. It doesn't get any
experts
bigger.
are warning of possible harmful effects. Known as jelking, the pud plumping phenomenon has grown quickly in popularity because of sites like TikTok and Reddit. This is great. More intense than the usual repeated jerking of the Johnson practiced by most males and considered to be harmless, jelking involves firmly pressing a thumb and index finger at the base of a semi-erect penis, then dragging forward, much like you would when you're attempting to squeeze the last bits of toothpaste out of the tube. The thought is that this repeated motion creates micro tears in the penis that encourages scarring and thus growth, but that's actually not true. It can lead to Peyronie's disease, erectile dysfunction, and infections. Jelking.
So if you're joking, cut it out.
I wonder how did what combination of words?
Do you have
is
any videos of someone joking?
that? Yeah, let's put that.
Yeah,
put
we
that,
definitely
put that,
can't show
put that
them
in the
the
video.
pod, but,
Put that in the video so I can get banned from YouTube next. Jelking.
Can you go on Pornhub and look up a video of someone jelking?
Pornhub, dude. It's pretty wild though that we have all these surgeries, all this medical intervention, right? Girls can get fake tits, fake asses, fake lips, fake legs, fake eyes, everything, right? Guys still struggle to get good hair transplants, and there's no functioning penis enlargement surgery.
Let me ask you this. Brandon, can we pull up on Pornhub a video of someone jelking and me and Randy can watch it and not show the video?
Yeah. I mean, if that's what you.
Joe just wants to watch fucking gay porn with me in the room. I think that's what's going on now. Also, Pornhub. I mean, why would you? Do you think Pornhub's not like instructional?
Dude, I've been watching that chick on the right quite a bit lately. She's so hot.
Black chicks? Nice. Jelking.
All right, it's not coming up on here. Give me.
No, Jelq.
Oh.
QING.
My apologies.
Yeah.
All right, let's try and find Joking for Joe.
Name your first special, Jelking for Joe.
Okay, there are. I mean, which one would you prefer to watch?
Here we go.
I don't need 20 minutes of it, but maybe.
God, that guy's dick is so pink and red. That's terrifying.
Well, that's what happens when you fucking tug on your
when you
dick.
joke. All right, maybe he is the best video to watch. Then
Yo,
he looks
let's
like
watch
he's
it, watch
joking
He's got a red
hard.
rocket, dude. His fucking dick's about to fall off.
God damn it! I'm
That
so
looks
mad.
horrific.
I'm so mad. I'm having to watch this right now.
That looks horrific. What's
my God.
What's fucked up is you
cut
can see
the
his
audio.
legs, you can see the actual color of his skin. It shouldn't be that red.
Oh, it's like getting toothpaste out of the last bit of toothpaste out of something.
That's what they said. Yeah, that's exactly what they said. Oh my god. It's purple. It's like, dude, you're gonna lose your dick. I'd rather have a small dick than have my dick fall off.
Let me know when you're done. I've stopped watching. I'm
Oh
done
my
watching this.
God.
I mean, it's purple. Dude, it looks like it. You ever see Frostbite? It looks like his dick has frostbite.
Holy shit.
That looks impossibly painful. Oh, all right. Enough of this. Jesus Christ. I mean, his dick was purple. Jelking.
How do you feel about the video that we just watched?
I'm a little hard, to be honest with you.
Dude, it is tough.
My stomach hurts. that upset my stomach watching that, man.
Oh my God, that's the funniest thing I've watched in any podcast.
But like I said, dude, to be honest, it's kind of ironic though that like for whatever reason, male plastic surgery hasn't made the progress that female plastic surgery's made. You know, like you see a guy with hair plugs and they still look pretty bad. You know, there's penis enlargement isn't like a well-established thing, but fake tits, fake asses, fake lips, fake everything for women. They nailed it for that. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Nails done, hair done, everything big.
I know. Yeah, men lie with words, women lie with their appearance. That's what I say.
You have anything else you want to show me, Randall?
Well, we're not going to watch more jelking videos. I'm going to save that for later in my hotel room.
That was crazy.
What hotel are you staying at?
I'll be at the A-Loft in the Domain. Don't worry, by the time this comes out, I won't be there.
If any rabid fans want to come attack Randall at the Domain.
Yeah, come get me, baby. Woo! Oh, here you go. Here's one that's interesting. Japanese scientists have successfully created an MRI machine that can record your dreams and reconstruct them for you to watch while you're awake. Now, would you want to watch your dreams?
No.
Right? Right? Like, even a good dream, you don't want to watch it again. Because when you wake up, you're like, that made no fucking sense.
Dude, I took, what is it, leucine for the first time? I forget what I took last night.
Ambien?
But it gave me weird dreams, dude.
Lucy?
L-theanine, that's what I took, L-theanine.
Oh, L-theanine. Yeah, I don't really remember a lot of my dreams, thankfully. Sleeping itself is weird, man, if you think about it. Like, you kind of just die, and you don't know if you're going to wake up. You know,
Yeah.
like, we're all okay with sleeping, but most people are afraid of dying. It's like, there's really no difference. Like, the only difference is you expect to wake up, but there's no guarantee of it. So you kind of have like a mini death every night. And it seems kind of relaxing. That's why I don't think I fear death. It seems like it's going to be a very relaxing thing. It's like, oh, just no more?
No more.
Yeah. You afraid of dying?
I go back and forth. I'm either terrified of it or I'm not worried about it at all. I was kind of thinking about it, and I'm like, it makes no sense to be worried about it because you're like using your time alive to worry about
the time you don't have. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a juxtaposition where you're like, why would I worry about something that I'm not going to experience?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like death is not going to be an experience that I have. Dying is.
Exactly.
So that doesn't like. But then again, dude, like I'm real open-minded in that, like, this could not be it, you know?
Yeah, that's the mystery. That'd be interesting to see. I think I agree with you. My thing is, I'm afraid of how I will die, not the death itself. Like what I don't, nobody wants is a long, excruciating death. You know, like if I just drop dead, it's like, all right, I can live with that. But it's like, oh, you got cock cancer and it's going to be 9 months of chemo and then you're going to keel over and die. It's like, that sounds not fun.
Yeah, put me out.
Yeah, but if it's just a fucking heart attack and I drop dead on the subway, it's like, all right, I can deal with that.
That's the thing, though. If you go into the 9 months of chemo, you could make it. So,
well, and somebody made a point this on another podcast I listened to that, if you know you have a terminal illness, you can prepare for death. So like you can savor those last few months. Whereas if you just die suddenly, you don't behave differently before. Like you just think that another day's coming.
I think the idea that I am dying would freak me out. I'd rather just go and not be worried about it. But then again, you could, like, if you don't know you're going to die, you could be arguing with your dad on the phone and then just...
That's what I'm saying, yeah. Like, if you have 9 months, you're like, all right, but I feel good today. I'll probably feel like shit in 6 months. But these next 3 months, I'm cashing in my 401k. I'm fucking going nuts. I'm gonna squeeze the fucking life out of the last few months I got left. So there is, like, that kind of, back and forth with it.
If you knew that you had 3 months to live, would you go sober with it, or would you be getting fucking hammered?
No, I'd have the best time of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. For what? Sober.
The hangover is what I'd be worried about, though.
I wouldn't be hungover. I'd stay fucked up. I'd just stay fucked up for 3 straight months.
The hungover anxiety attack, I think I wouldn't be able to manage if I was dying. Right? Like, I'll have some nights where I'm like, dude, I got so fucked up on Tuesday for no reason. And then, like, I woke up the next day and was like,
oh yeah, the panic sets in.
I can't handle the panic. I mean, that's why I quit doing cocaine. Is because the next day, just like it's also the worst hangover in the world, the worst come down in the world. I can't handle it. Yeah. Whereas, like, if I'm gonna go that high up, I might as well fly high on Molly, and the next day I'll, like, at least appreciate it. Where, like, if I did Molly the night before, the next day I'll be like, that was a good idea. I'm glad I did that. Or if I do a fuckload of coke, I'll wake up the next day and just be like, that was so stupid.
Mushrooms is my fave.
The best.
Mushrooms the best. All right, final question for you. And I ask this sometimes, but, it reminded me after looking at the Jelking video that I had an
That
accident.
was insane.
Insane. And this is a great question. Both of you guys can answer it. Would you rather suck a dick or get fucked in the ass?
Suck a dick.
Suck a dick. I also have a hemorrhoid.
You guys,
Really?
Yeah.
right now?
What?
Right now?
Do you use the hemorrhoidal suppositories?
I've been trying to use Preparation H, but I just went through a whole tube. I don't think that shit's
What
doing
the
anything.
fuck is going on in this goddamn
It's
city?
stressful out here in Austin, man.
Both of you guys have hemorrhoids?
Bro, I'll tell you the only thing that works for me, right? So there's a hemorrhoidal suppository, which is something that you shove up your own ass.
Yeah.
Dude, after you take the big shit of the day, the one where there's going to be a gap.
The post coffee morning shit?
Yeah. After the post coffee morning shit, hemorrhoidal suppository, walk out the door. Game changer, dude.
Okay.
Because
I'll look
otherwise
into
your
that.
asshole is just like, you just lay down in bed and it's like, I don't even think about jerking off or having sex. I'm just like, I can't wait to itch my ass. I'm so excited to itch my ass.
Jesus Christ.
I can't wait to.
Yeah.
I can't wait, dude.
So I'm gonna suck the dick.
Yeah.
Suck the dick. See, I don't think you guys are thinking about it clearly. That's every straight guy's first reaction. Because I've asked this to gay and straight men and women. You have to suck this guy's dick to completion. It's in your face, in your mouth. Like,
Randy, you're so homophobic, dude.
getting fucked in the ass, it's like, guys get raped in jail, so it's like, all right, just, you can, like, have an out-of-body experience and detach from yourself and just, like, just hurry up back there. Like, but you to fucking have to, like, really get into it and blow
That's
a guy.
a good point in that, like, when you do suck a guy's dick, you would have to, like, really, you're conscious of it the whole time. That's
you have
a
to
good
be
point.
there, dude.
I think just the moment that a man's cock enters my ass would just be too much for me to handle. So,
You
Really?
wouldn't throw it back?
You might stuff your hemorrhoid back up there, though.
dude, that's a good
Fixes
point.
it, yeah.
All right? way up there.
And it's
big
already your ass is already so fucked up. Might as well just keep ruining it. That's one way to look at it, you know. Don't fuck up two things. You got a pretty mouth, Joe.
Bro, I thought I was fucked up. I thought I was young to have a hemorrhoid. You're fucking 25.
Yeah, I'm 26, but yeah, it was when I fucked up my back earlier this year, and I fucked it up, and then I've just been ignoring it.
Really?
Yeah.
The stress from that like caused you to have a hemorrhoid?
Yeah, I was just like on the way to a gig, and I grabbed like merch out of my trunk, and my back seized up, and I fell over in a Walmart parking lot and couldn't move for like 3 days.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened.
You know, I asked a gay guy that same question. Would you rather suck or dick or get fucked in the ass? And that was my roommate. And his response was, did we eat first?
So funny.
Which is probably the best response I ever got from that. Have we eaten yet?
Hilarious. It's a 10 out of 10 response.
You want to have anal sex on an empty stomach. You don't want, fucking mess in the kitchen.
That's crazy.
Oh, Joey boy, this is fun, buddy.
This is a blast, right?
Hell yeah, man. Thanks for coming to do
The
this.
studio is so fucking nice, dude.
We'll do more of it.
Yeah, 100%.
You come visit LA? Come hang?
I'm overdue. I'm overdue for sure. I'm glad you finally
Glad I
made it
finally
down.
made it out here. And I'll come back more frequently. Like I said, I've ran into 30 comics I've known out here. I've just been...
It's a great time. You're gonna have a blast, man. And I mean, it is nice where it's like, dude, there are only a set number of places that we can hang out as Austin comics, so it's kind of like we're all convening here on a regular
I
basis.
like that. Like this,
Yeah.
like the Creek and the Cave. Shout out to these guys. 'Cause it's like a cool hang here. Like they let the inmates run the asylum here, and that's what I like.
Yeah.
It's like us at the Hideout, or better yet, that fucking was it Beacon Hill Pub or whatever it was. That goddamn remember that upstairs show? It was on Mass Ave and like Beacon Street.
No, I don't think I was around for that era.
Where was it that we were with Hetty? Hetty had a show. He was like the host. He was the host of the Hideout for the open mic. Were you there for that? Or did you go back to Connecticut?
Dude, I smacked Hetty's ass my first time revisiting Boston. He's like, and I forgot that you can't like, he just go, don't do any of that fucking gay shit.
Oh yeah. He's Middle Eastern, son.
Because I'm not fucking gay.
He doesn't play that shit.
Yeah,
He's
dude.
Middle
And we're like,
Eastern.
okay, dude.
Dude, he lives in LA. I've seen him once since I've been out there. But he's like working on his animated series. He's got married and shit. I asked Hetty, shout out Hetty McLaughlin. I asked him, why'd you get married? And he goes, it seemed like the right thing to do. Not I love her, not I want to have a family and kids. It just seemed like the right thing to do. I think I've been with her for like 6 years. It seemed like the right thing to do.
Were you married at any point?
Yeah, back in the day. Way before I met you, dude. This is shit. What is it? 2024, 12 years ago.
It was kind of like a second life.
Yeah. This is almost my third. So I got single, stayed in finance, got out of finance, came into this. This I've had 9 lives, man. I've like so many different eras of my life that changed a lot.
100%.
And who knows what the next one's going to be, man. Hopefully it'll be me coming to a theater near you, telling my dick jokes to you guys for $75 a whack.
Yeah, dude. Come see the fucking boys. Come see the boys on the road, dude.
Hell yeah. Come out. Obviously. Joe, where can they find you, bud?
Just Instagram at the Joe Bags. I think I need to change that because I hate the way it sounds. What do you guys think? I don't know what to fucking pick for an Instagram handle. But
well, the problem is when you have a name like Joe Begley, I'm sure somebody took it 15 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had it and then I got rid of it.
Some fucking cocksucker has Randy Valerio. Me? No. No, somebody had Randy V Comedy, another comedian. I tried to snag it from him, but he already had it.
There's another Randy V.
It's like I think it's Randy Vasquez. Terrible comedian. I don't know. I've looked at any of his material. God bless you, Randy Vasquez.
If you're listening, Randy Vasquez, fuck you.
Yeah, follow Joe at the Joe Beggs everywhere, on all the platforms. Follow me at Randy Valerio. Check out the podcast at Ready Set Blow Podcast. Rate, review, subscribe, all the good stuff, folks.
Don't forget Brandon.
Brandon, where can they find you?
Instagram, Brandon Lejean. Lejean is spelled legend with an R-E on the end. A little underscore after it.
He's French, which means you know he sucks dicks.
Yes, sir. Hit me up.
Yeah, love you guys. That's it for this one. Peace.
Bye.